Welcome back. You're still watching Technoholik. Now, you might think tablets, smartphones, and even ultrabooks are expensive. But if you're looking for some cheap, endless hours of entertainment, then look no further than the birds who love to kill pigs. Rovio is back with the Angry Birds, for whom space is definitely not the final frontier. Angry Birds Space is up next, and let's see how many pigs Siddhartha can kill.
Thanks, Radhika. Well, Angry Bird fans would be really delighted this week. Just when everybody thought that Angry Birds has lost its charm due to its season updates and Angry Bird Rovio hit back, and that too with a bang. The latest Angry Bird game is out, and it's called The Angry Bird Space.
Yes, the Angry Birds are in space, although they've brought along their big enemies and stolen egg plotline to feel at home. The 4th edition of the game has got some exciting features as well. Angry Bird Space features 60 interstellar levels, and more would be coming soon. Angry Bird Space now involves gravitational pull of asteroids. As you slingshot the birds around various space rocks, they are subjected to planet's gravity, adding an additional layer to the physics-based gameplay. Sometimes you are firing them through 2 or more planets' gravitational fields, requiring some sharp thinking. There are also new birds. A blue square ice bomb bird freezes the scenery and pigs, setting them up to be smashed by the next projectile. Meanwhile, the green monster bird is heavier than its peers, while the super red bird has more of a grenade effect, triggered by tapping them. There is also a new power-up to replace the mighty eagle of previous game. Space eagles can be triggered at any time and see a giant bird battered through a wormhole to squash anything in their vicinity. Angry Bird Space is available on iOS and costs $1 on the iPhone and $3 for the HD version on your iPad.
So there you saw the new edition of the Angry Birds series from Rovio. It's called the Angry Bird Space. Now the new Angry Bird Space involves a new kind of physics to it. It has now a gravitational field around the planets. Obviously the pigs have gone into space, the birds have gone into space, and the background score has more of a Star Trek feel to it now. Obviously the characters are better animated now. The red bird, the blue bird, the birds that convert into 3 birds are brilliantly characterized in this game. The gravitational field makes it kind of more challenging as well. So in terms of the looks and the feel of the game, and obviously the background score, I give it a 5-star rating. Coming to the gameplay of the Angry Bird Space, it now has around 60 interstellar levels to it. The characters are better animated. My personal favorite from the previous Angry Bird edition was the black bird, which you just tap and it blasts all the pigs and the obstacles around it. Now it's better improved. It now has a fire trail going behind it whenever you catapult it. So that kind of is a very cool feature. Apart from the other birds also introduced over here, there's a blue ice bird as well, which freezes all the obstacles and the pig for the next bird to come and hit them bang on. So all in all, the levels are pretty easy to maneuver around. You can easily get a 3-star in some of the levels, but in some levels you really need to make the physics come out of it, because there are 2 or 3 planets involved in it which have a gravitational pull of their own, and you have to manage your way around it to hit the pig right on. So all in all, the gameplay gets a 4.5-star rating from us on Technoholik. Now the Angry Bird Space is definitely a refreshing take on the Angry Bird platform. It definitely has a refreshing feel to it and will get the Angry Bird craze back into the mobile phone and the tablet scenario. You will have to shell out somewhere about $1 for the Angry Bird Space on your iPhone and about $3 for the HD version on your iPad. But here's something very interesting for all you Android fans over there. It's also available on the Android app market, which is now called the Android Play, and it's available for free, and the experience on the Android phones is also not bad. Obviously it's better on the iPhone and the iPad, but overall I've got the Sony Xperia S over here in my hand, and playing Angry Bird Space on it was also butter smooth. So all in all, the Angry Bird Space game gets about a 5-star rating from us on Technoholik. It's one game that you definitely don't want to miss this summer, whether you're an Angry Bird fan or not.
May the Angry Birds live long and prosper. For all the Star Trek fans out there, but I am completely in love with this game. Endless hours of fun. And with that gaming action, it's time to close this edition of Technoholik. But you can always keep the conversation going on Twitter. Our IDs are flashing on your screens right now. And you can also email us at technoholic@indiatimes.com. And for all the news and updates, always stay logged on to technoholic.com. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Till then, bye guys.